Hey guys, so I'm back. Had a nice little vacation. Took off about 4 days to some friend's house out in Arizona. Much needed decompression. But I am back on the charger and fresh, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Excited to get this done. And while I was out, I got my seat covers. So today we're going to install some seat covers, do a little upholstery, and get these seats back in the car. That one stud that I installed a few videos ago ended up being about a half an inch too short, so we're reinstalling one of those. Doing that right now, just getting that one out. We made another one that's actually the same length as these stock studs. So see how we managed to make the top of that bolt look like the other stock one. So anyway, the devil's in the details. So now I already put one seat together, but I thought I'd share with you guys on this this particular one. So these seats, of course, have a bunch of stuff in them that you have to install. We got these sleeves for the headrest. So these little guys here, a pair of them go downward to accommodate the headrest posts. I guess you could call them posts. And then two on the top go in there, same thing. These guys. These guys have the two holes. So these are the long screws that go in, and they have a chrome bezel on the top of them. But obviously this goes over the top of the upholstery. These guys go on first. As you can see, there's a single hole there that holds this particular part down, and it's directional, obviously. So you want these kind of snap in. Use kind of a machine screw. You just use this one hole, and you'll know it's in the wrong spot when it doesn't fit. Yeah, this is totally turned around, so this is supposed to go. They made these in such a way that they can't be put on the wrong way. And usually I can find, if there's a way, I can find the way to put them on wrong. Stop laughing. Pride myself in that. So this one screw will hold this guy in place until we get the upholstery over it, and then there'll be two more screws that go through. Yeah, so the tall part goes towards the back. So the tall part of this guy, see how it's taller on the back, so this goes towards the passenger's back, or person in the seat's back. Alright, so obviously this is all powder coated, and I went through this stuff really carefully before I had it powder coated to try to fix anything that was broken. But today I noticed that one of these guys was bent, and this guy was out of the channel, this channel right here. And once I went to bend it back, it fell off. So rather than weld that, I just did the quick way and used an Adele clamp, basically just to hold it in place there. So it's as good as new. But I did notice when I was driving the car, I just had the foam on top of the seat brackets, and It felt a little clunky, if I'm being honest, sitting on this spring, but it was, again, it didn't have upholstery, it just had the foam. Um, Obviously, this isn't going to give me that Bentley or high-end car feel. It's going to feel like I'm sitting on an old bed spring, and that's just the way it is. But yeah, so Adele for the win, and that'll probably last a lot longer than these guys will either. So, gotta do what I gotta do. So let me grab my foam, and we'll start doing some upholstery here. All right, so I have my. I had to check the manual out to make sure I was doing this right. So the spring goes on first. And the seatbelt retainers screw to that. I think there's provisions on both seat bottoms for either side. And then the back seats get them too. They're just like a plastic fake tongue for like these guys here. They're just little simulated seatbelt buckles, which I believe are just to keep the seatbelts from flopping. Just pretty cool. I don't think I've ever seen that in another car, so it took me a minute to figure out what those are for. So, all right, let's start. I gotta go grab my seat covers out of the sun. I'll be right back. All right, so I've got my foam in here. My seat is conformed inside there. So I'm going to go ahead and hook this up. I should probably mention that you want to make sure when you're buying seat upholstery for your car, doesn't matter if it's a Chevelle or a Charger or Mustang, you want to buy the upholstery from the same brand or the same manufacturer, because there may be some variances in the texture or the style. I'm sure everybody makes theirs just a little bit different. So when I bought my back seats, I was able to find those first, and then it took me a while to be able to find the front seats, but they're both from Legendary, so it ended up working out okay. But I can see that being an issue if you buy your seats from one manufacturer and your back seats from another. So I did lock this guy in off camera I got it really hot and the sun, so I just wanted to seize the moment while it was still pliable. So now I'll figure out where this goes. Each one of these frames is just a little bit different. What I don't know is how these panels will fit, because these panels get there's a panel that goes in between here once we're done buttoning up the back of this. So there's a separate panel and even a separate piece of foam that goes here. So I'm just gonna lightly pull this into place and see where that ends up and what it looks like. But the second side is always the harder side. After you've locked one in, you gotta wrap it around. And if you have these pre-fitted foam pieces, they make it a little bit harder, but we should be able to get it. And what I did find, or didn't find, is headrest covers. I don't know of anybody that makes them, so that may have to go to an upholstery guy for that. Or I don't know if you guys know, but the headrests were actually an option in '69. It was kind of a transitional year. '68 they weren't available, but in '69 they were. And so some '69s had them and some didn't, which is kind of strange. Legendary product is actually really good and very good quality. I'm happy with it. No deals here. I didn't get any deals on this stuff, but it did took a while to get my seats. I remember complaining about they didn't say on the website that they're out of stock, which is always kind of irritating, especially if they take your money and don't have the product to send you. That always bothers me. But like Classic Industries won't charge you until they send you the product that you ordered, so I appreciate that. But sometimes the products just never come, even if you've ordered them. They're just on back order infinitely. Like my headlight switch was the case for that. I ended up getting it somewhere else. I think we're on the right track here. So I'm going to continue to lock these guys in. The thing about upholstery is that you can see, the question is, where do I lock the material down? Or what do I hog ring to? And in this case, I'm just guessing this goes here. I doubt there's any upholstery guys that are, professionals at this that are watching, but if they are, put it in the comments. But it seems obvious that they would ring to this frame here, but I could be wrong, but to me it seems like that would be the case, especially like these guys here would go to here and pull down like that. I'm not sure exactly how to do this. Has a nice plastic piece here, no Velcro or anything, but I'm not quite sure how that works. So maybe it doesn't get anything, it just crosses over and I hog ring this guy to here. So yeah, you just gotta jump in and do it. That's the thing. You just gotta throw caution to the wind. This hog ring stuff is super cheap. These hog ring pliers are cheap. It doesn't cost much money to do this. And how many things in this industry can you say that don't cost a lot of money to start doing? It's pretty thin out there. But I think just sometimes in the middle of these projects, you know, if you feel like you're just not getting anywhere with it, just go put it back out in the sun and just let it be and start on another one, or do something different. And that way you keep moving forward instead of just spinning your wheels in place. I mean, we all love a burnout, but you don't want to actually get burned out, which I struggle with today. I mean, I still, off and on, you know, doing the same thing every day is hard at times, but everyone goes through it. If you know that, it helps you through it, or it does me anyway. Which my plan is to basically pull this leaflet this way and then this leaflet that way, so when I finish up with this seam here and lock it onto this bar, and then I'm going to pull this guy that way and get it locked on the other side of this vertical bar here, and we'll do the same thing over here. So I think that's the way it goes. So looks like I have about 9 more minutes on this card, so if I abruptly shut off, just know that I'll be back in 1 second. Yep.